Everybody's jumping on this bandwagon talking about PlayStation and how they're cooked and how much of a bad situation they're in. Consoles in general are cooked, not just PlayStation, Xbox as well. Let's be honest for a second. I don't even think that consoles are going to make it to the digital future they're trying to promote. PlayStation said that they're going to switch to all digital in 2028. They're not going to make it there. And I know you're going to have a lot of console people in the comments saying, well, consoles aren't going anywhere because you are emotionally attached to that. And I get it. But I'm not talking about tomorrow. I'm talking about the direction the industry is headed in general. Because when you really start connecting the dots, I don't see how this ends with dedicated consoles becoming stronger. I think they're becoming less necessary every single year. Let's begin with PlayStation, because obviously that's the hot topic we have going on right now. I mean, think about it. The next PlayStation iteration is going to be over $1,000. For what? And let me explain to you the first step and where it all started. What got all this going? When the live service era first started taking over years ago, companies, let's be honest, they burned a lot of trust. We watched games launch half finished. They were loaded with microtransactions, battle passes, cosmetic stores. And this is after they realized how much money they can make from vanity items and content that didn't really do anything. It just satisfied the need to flex in game. They capitalized on that. And the half-baked games were the result of this live service theme being pretty much new. And they didn't really have all the technological understanding that they have now to maintain a game for years. So a lot of games ended abruptly. Then, to make matters worse, people spent hundreds of dollars supporting games that simply disappeared. That's not a good return on your investment as a consumer. So before Sony even started talking about an all-digital future, people were already skeptical. The industry had already put a sour taste in people's mouths. Then they made matters even worse by leaning into it. They spent billions acquiring Bungie, not because they wanted to make a Destiny 3. It was because they wanted to become a major force in live service gaming. The proof of that is them betting on Marathon. And that's not really a secret. They made it a core part of their strategy. The problem is that's not where the majority of the player base wanted PlayStation to go. Look at the Destiny community. Whether it's exactly 90% or not, you don't have to spend long in that community to see what people have been asking for over the years. They wanted a true fresh start. They wanted Destiny 3. Instead, Sony just doubled down on continuing the live service strategy, even while multiple live service projects across the industry struggled or failed to meet expectations. So now you've got an audience that already doesn't trust the direction publishers have been taking. And then Sony starts making it very clear they're moving toward an even more digital future. During Sony's latest earnings call, Lin Tao addressed the controversy directly. Okay, there was a major backlash with their decision to go forward. So she explained that the company had spent a long time evaluating the decision before announcing that beginning in January 2028, that's not far from now, all new PlayStation games will be digital only. According to Sony, this wasn't a rushed decision. It was something they had considered carefully as digital purchases continued to outspace physical media across not only gaming, but entertainment as a whole. Like, VHS becoming DVD, then DVD becoming Blu-ray, then Blu-ray to digital. Same thing happened with the movie industry. So naturally, gaming comes next, right? So Sony says it's going to, in their words, cautiously move this forward. And when you first think of cautiously, you're thinking, okay, we're gonna navigate this situation carefully, make sure we don't hurt anybody's feelings, make sure we try to come to some sort of compromise. They didn't do that. The caution wasn't about whether to do it or not. The caution was how they're gonna go about doing it. They're still moving forward to the objective. And in the midst of this, the whole conversation about Destiny 3 not being made is at the forefront, while everyone is upset about it. So now you've got an audience that already doesn't trust the direction publishers have been taking, and then Sony starts making it very clear they're moving toward an even more digital future. Here's where I think they're making a massive mistake. I don't even know if consoles make it to that future. Seriously, what's even the incentive to get a PlayStation nowadays, or an Xbox for that matter? Why am I buying a PlayStation 5 years from now? So let's say everything becomes digital, no physical collection, no discs, everything's tied to an account. What exactly am I buying? A box? Because if that's the case, why would I just buy a PC? A PC lets you play games, it lets you edit videos, run a YouTube channel, start a business, trade stocks, buy crypto. You can work from home, use AI. I mean, you can think of more things to do than I. I mean, you can learn new skills, develop software. The possibilities are endless with a PC, which is why I switched a long time ago and I've never gone back. I mean, I have a PlayStation, but I'm thinking I'm just keeping it for GTA since that's only launching on PlayStation, I think, for now. A PC literally does everything. So explain to me why I need another piece of hardware sitting under my TV whose only purpose is letting me access digital games that I don't even physically own. That isn't a compelling sales pitch. Years ago, it was different, okay? People bought PlayStation because it was PlayStation. That name meant something. Companies with strong brands sell products almost automatically because people trust them. People buy Jordans because they're Jordans. Same goes with Apple. I know I get the new iPhone every time one is released. So that brand reputation matters, but brand reputation only gets you so far. Eventually, people start looking at what they're actually getting for their money. And that's where I think Sony has the real problems. So let's compare that to what Valve is doing. This is why I think the new Steam machine actually makes a lot more sense than buying a traditional console. If I'm buying a console in the future, I think that's the way I would go. It's just the smart thing to do, to be honest. Valve isn't asking you to buy into another closed ecosystem. They're basically saying, here's a gaming PC, install it in your living room, sign into your Steam library, and your entire game arsenal is right in front of your face. That's a completely different philosophy. I don't have to start over or rebuild my collection. I don't have to worry about whether the next generation carries everything forward, and so many more aspects to think about when it comes to last gen versus new. I sign into Steam and my games are just there. That makes so much more sense when going into a digital age. That's why I don't think PlayStation or Xbox will survive this type of transition. Naturally, it seems like something like that will just go extinct because it just doesn't make sense. You got access to one of the biggest PC gaming ecosystems in the world with PC and anything surrounding that, like with the Steam machine. Thousands upon thousands of games. The Steam Workshop mods, oh my goodness. Mods on PC are insane. Cloud saves, of course, that's on console as well, but there's so many more accolades to enjoy when it comes to PC gaming and anything surrounding it. And because it's built around the Steam's operating system, it's giving you that simple console experience without taking away everything that makes PC gaming great. PC is the master race, sorry to say, and I'm not just jumping on a bandwagon here, I'm speaking from years of experience. When I switched from console to PC, it was a totally different, it was a paradigm shift. I didn't expect it to be that good. I play with mouse and keyboard now. I can't go back. The only things I play with a controller are games like Elden Ring and fighting games. I cannot play a shooter game without a mouse and keyboard. I have potato aim, and I grew up playing on a controller. It just makes no sense for me to play on a controller. And Valve has been very clear that it sees the Steam machine as an extension of PC gaming, not a traditional console. And here's the part people overlook, because PC is not just another platform. It's where games are built, is where developers are making these games in the first place. It's usually where new graphics technologies show up first. So it's where you get the highest frame rates and the most graphic options and mod support, community patches, ultra wide support. You have freedom. How can consoles survive through that? Seriously, especially if they're going digital, it just doesn't make sense. If I'm already buying into a digital future, why would I lock myself into one company's hardware when I could buy into an entire ecosystem that's bigger than any one company? That's why I keep coming back to the same point. I don't think Sony's biggest competition is Xbox anymore. It's the entire PC ecosystem. Once people start to realize this, you're going to see people are going to be asking themselves, why do I even need a separate console? And that's a very hard question for Sony or Microsoft to answer. So if you're asking me where I feel comfortable investing my money long term, it's getting harder and harder to justify that answer being with a console, PlayStation or Xbox, because Microsoft has already been moving away from the idea that the console itself is the product. Almost everything Xbox offers is already on PC. Now, Xbox is even a stronger case or reason why I think that consoles will be extinct is Microsoft. So you have Game Pass, first party games, cross progression, crossplay, but we have to look at what's happening internally with the company. Microsoft has gone through multiple rounds of layoffs across its gaming division. Thousands. Do you hear that? Thousands of jobs. have been cut over the past few years, including after the Activision Blizzard acquisition. Studios have been restructured and projects have been canceled. So leadership repeatedly talks about making the business more efficient and focusing resources where they see long-term growth, whatever that is. When a company starts making cuts on that scale, it's usually because they're adapting to where they think the market is going. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think Microsoft sees the same thing I'm seeing and many of you are seeing. The future isn't necessarily selling you another console every generation. The future is selling you an ecosystem that follows you no matter what hardware you're using. That's why I think the traditional console model is starting to look dated, because the entire reason those machines existed is slowly disappearing. I mean, we already know since the movies and all of that became digital a long time ago, then it's natural to know that the same thing is going to happen with games. The idea of owning physical media and physical entertainment is just like, it's been disappearing as time progressed. And I know y'all don't really like to hear stuff like this because exclusivity is not really feeling as exclusive as it was before. But I mean, this is the reality. You just got to kind of move with the winds. You feel me? And so PC keeps absorbing more and more of what made consoles special in the first place. But if Sony really believes this digital future arrives in the next few years, like they say in 2028, they're overlooking something much bigger. The thing that goes extinct first may not be the physical games. It's probably going to be the console itself. I felt I really had to say this. I was going to come out with another video talking about, the decision that Sony made to just push forward with going all digital unapologetically, but I didn't feel like that's something I wanted to do. I wanted to talk about how this is how I really feel the industry is going. Consoles are going extinct. Their incentive to play them or even own one is just like very low. But tell me what you think about this in the comment section below. I appreciate you watching to the end. And if you found this intriguing or insightful in any way, then like the video and don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.